Good afternoon. Welcome back again. Yesterday, I was with Mr. Innocent Naka talking about Global Livestock Bank, and then our conversation extended to the design and operation of life. And we spoke at length about the need for structure and order to guide choices and actions. And today, part two of that continuing conversation with Mr. Naka, who is in Zimbabwe. He's a chartered accountant. He's a finance specialist. He calls himself a financial engineer. And I thought it would be useful for us to extend the conversation so that we both can enrich our understanding as to what is required in order to build inclusive and diverse communities. Whether it's a small community, it's a big community, I think the whole challenge is we need to be able to have conversations on what the architecture should be, what the instruments should be, and who are the people to make the things that we want to happen at the pace we want them to happen. You may have your own views, and Mr. Innocent Naka, a specialist in the livestock, in creating what you can call a livestock bank, a bank whose currency is the kgs in the livestock, and you can create derivatives around livestock. And he will be with us to share his own perspectives. And this is what we need to be able to look at, examine, interrogate, and explore so that we can have a shared understanding. So I'm just waiting for Mr. Naka. Is it Naka, N-A-K-A, to share his own perspectives. This is on financial engineering and lessons learned may be useful to you, and these are lessons of life. So it's not, I think his network is not good, but hopefully I spoke to him before, so I've no doubt that he will join us. If you have any question, the matter is towards excellence in financial engineering. If you have any questions on what financial engineering is and is not, I think you can pose the questions, and then Mr. Naka would then be able to work with us so that you can get the answers you deserve or that can help you in responding to this. So that's what we have, financial engineering, and how best do we harness the limited financial skills that reside in and the problems that these skills can solve. What is it that we need to do to sharpen our understanding of the kind of skills. Hello, Mr. Tsatsa in Australia. Good afternoon. We're talking about financial engineering. And some of the skills, some of the knowledge may be useful to you in Australia. And how best do we build pyramids of knowledge so that the few will be at the top, the majority will be at the bottom of the pyramid, but each brick counts in a pyramid. How do we build these pyramids of knowledge, pyramids of experiences, pyramids of insights, unless we don't create the platforms to share the best in the trade, so that those people who are in the trade can be able to use that, able to use the skills, the experiences. Good afternoon, Kudakwashe Taruinga. Is the financial engineering of interest to you? How best do we use skills to be able to build pyramids, build nations, build companies, build corporations? How best do we do it? We have a shared understanding of what the corporate civilization entails, asks of us, or we have disparate understanding, divided understanding, conflicting understanding, diverse understanding, some even rebellious understanding. Some think knowledge takes a good knowledge can take identity. Some believe in identity politics. Charles Wow, greetings from Leeds. And we're looking at people who have left Zimbabwe, who are in Leeds, who are elsewhere. Shepard Mugwede. We are waiting for Innocent Naka to join. He says his network is bad. He's in Kariba, and the network is not so generous. So hopefully he will join us and aid his insights. But today I thought we'll do part 2 with him, just to have a conversation with him as a way of provoking, igniting, and inspiring you to think differently about how best to build corporations. What is a company? What is the purpose of business? There are many people who think they know, and some know nothing, but they are using companies to build their future through them. And when they die, the company dies with them because the understanding is not shared. What is a corporation? What is a country? What an association? What is it that is required to be done to build institutions? What is an institution? What is a system? Where does the start and end? Does an institution represent the individual, or does the individual make up the institution? When we say possession and agency, do you know what we mean by that? Power of agency and power of causation. If those two powers are not there, that thing can't reproduce itself. Only human beings have the power to cause gold as it is created into a ring, into something else. Animals can't, but they coexist with minerals, but they can't convert them to another use to solve a problem. So who are we in the value chain of life? We are the converters. Some people think a car comes from human imagination, and yet a car comes from the materials created and given common to all, so that those who have creative geniuses can convert those materials into problem solvers. Companies go beyond personal wealth, but is an entity established for the whole country, not ignoring the society where it belongs, and CSR. But what is a company, Shepherd? Should we have a conversation on what a company is and a company is not? What is it? What is a human being? What is the relationship between a human being and a company? Should we not have those conversations in order to sharpen our understanding so that we can celebrate these instruments of human beings and how far they can take us if what they are meant for? How many people go into a WhatsApp group and ask, what is the purpose of the WhatsApp group? Can you imagine what ignorance informs that kind of question? How can a WhatsApp group have a purpose? Surely, is it sensible? Is it common sense, logic, and reason at play when somebody asks, what is a company? What is not a company? What is a corporation? What is not a corporation? So we need to understand all this so that together we can build a common body of knowledge so that those who may want to use companies can do so fully knowing that this is an instrument. It's a legal persona, says Charles Joao, just like a human being guided by its rules. Does it have the power to cause anything? Does it have the power of causation? And what do you mean by the power of causation, Charles? Perhaps you can pause and think and reflect. Just think about it. Does the power of causation reside in a company or in a human being? If I leave stones where I am, I'll find the stones waiting. But if I leave diamonds where I won't find diamonds. They'll be gone. A human being can cause diamonds to have legs. So, what is this power of causation? What is this power of causation? And how do we build a shared understanding on what causation is and what causation is not? So that together we may disagree, but not become disagreeable. So, what is this power of causation? What is the power of agency? We as human give it power of causation if we respect institutions we formulate. But you can't give a mind to a company. You can't give a mind to a company. A company does not possess a mind like a human being. A donkey does not possess a mind like a human being. A donkey can't organize, can't associate with other donkeys to call themselves a company and have one invoice for whatever output that comes there. A company is business instrument introduced by individuals or corporates. Yes, a company. What is a company? Should we have that conversation about what a company is and what a company is not? Munya Shonai, should we have that conversation? What is a company? What is not a company? And what is the relationship between a human being and a company, other institution. What is it that we learn from this literacy course? This is really literacy in motion. We have Mr. You are playing something in the background.
Yes, Mr. Mawere, how are you?
How are you? How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Were you provoked to join, or you were flabbergasted?
I was provoked to join. Positive always.
All right. So, can you tell us your departure point? What points do you think need elucidation, need expansion, subtraction, whatever you may come up?
Yeah, Mr. Mawere, I think it is very important for us to understand what they mean when they say a company is a legal person. Mutumwa Mawere is a natural person who has flesh and blood and the capacity to think and make rational decisions. But what then do we mean when we say a company is a universitas, a company is a legal person?
What do we mean?
Yeah.
Not what do we, just talk about yourself. And you are enough here. You are not an aggregate of other people.
Okay. Those are the basic concepts that I wanted maybe to expurgate so that we understand what then we mean.
Whatever you understand, share.
Okay. So when we say a company is a legal person, we mean to say that a company is its own person. It's an institution, a persona of its own that has the capacity to sue or to be sued. So a company is not a natural person. It is a juristic person. By juristic person, we mean to say...
What is a company? Imagine I was your grandmother, never gone to school. And you are now confused with a juristic, all this complicated mumbo jumbo. What is a company to you? Just be a pedestrian of knowledge.
I could finish maybe what you say is a sophisticated definition and then go on to give a simpler version of what a company is.
No, assume I'm your grandmother. I need sophistication. I just want to hear your voice as a learned. You are the first one to be educated. Peter called the lawyer. You come back to the village, and people.
Okay.
Tell us.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Tell us, what is a company in the simplest form?
Okay, so this is a body or an organization that is recognized as a person by the law. So this is a body, an organization, or an institution.
What is an organization?
Now, that is to put it further.
Yeah, so what is this complicated animal? You are talking about organization, you are talking about the law. Assume I'm your grandmother.
Okay, so Mr. Mawere, I'm simply trying to say that the law, as it is, creates a fiction that there is something called a company, which it recognizes by giving it rights and duties. So you have to mentally think of the law creating a certain fiction that an organization, or there's an organization up there that has the right to sue or to be sued. So this is a body that constitutes of shareholders, number one. Number two, it has directors, and then it has got a founding constitution, which can be called a memorandum of understanding or a memorandum of incorporation. So it has structures, but to put it in simpler terms, Mr. Mawere, this is a fiction that is created by the law. Somewhere mentally, that there is an organization or a body which is not tangible. It cannot be touched. It cannot be touched, but it's a concept of an organization that is recognized by the law as a person of its own. It can sue and it can be sued.
All right. So do you want me to try as well?
Yes, can you give us the definition?
All right. We are trying to get the simplest language to this. A company is like a car.
Mm-hmm.
It is put together by men. We put together, take iron ore, chrome, and whatever, and glass and rubber, and we put that into an object that can be used by men who wants to go somewhere. So if you want to go to point B, one of the ways to get there is a car. So we call it a vehicle because it can be used to carry you to where you want to go.
Yes.
But the car itself has no purpose. Other than in the context of human beings. If I'm a subsistence farmer and I have no point B to go to that I can't reach with my own legs, then I don't need a car to get there. If I'm locked down and I don't need the car to go somewhere where I can't go. But the object still exists.
Yeah.
4 wheels. It has got an engine. It has got a fuel tank. And I may have all that, but it ceases to become a vehicle that I can use to solve a problem that only confronts human beings. How do I get where I want to get to faster, quicker? So a company is a vehicle. Itself only exists in the context of human beings. It is an association of people. It itself, there are people who say they work for the company. Those who are illiterate would even have a strike against the company. And those who are literate would know that this is our common vehicle with one steering wheel, one driver, but it takes passengers as well. But each passenger must play his or her part.
So, Mr. Mawere, so if you say a company is a vehicle that is used to conduct business, you get it. I get the analogy that you use.
I never said conduct business. But thank you for trying to add the word into my narrative.
Okay. No. Of course. I'm very kind. I was just trying to add.
I never said the car can move on its own to go without a human involvement. So a car is an object that is stationary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a car would not move.
And
unless,
in that case,
we move it.
unless if there are stakeholders, is that what you mean?
No, I'm saying I've not even gone into stakeholders. I'm just trying to describe to a villager that a car, they've seen a car, it will not move if I and take my keys and you don't have keys, it will be there waiting for the driver. A car cannot have an accident on its own.
Okay.
Unless somebody causes it to move. So a company, I never said the company does business, no.
So, Mr. Mawere, that is a simplified, that is your version, which has been simplified to meet simple minds. What is your sophisticated one, if ever you have?
Yeah. No. Hey, Mr. Basiri, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mawere, and the other guest, I didn't get the name, sorry.
The other guest is called Thomas Sankara.
Thomas Sankara. I only know of one Thomas Sankara in history.
And he's a dead one. So when somebody constructively assumes the name of a dead person who was a confused man in the history of then we can only assume that the confusion is compounded itself and crystallized in a human being. But we'll talk about Thomas Sankara one day so that you can understand he was a confused object in motion.
No, Mr. Mawere, don't start on that one, huh?
So we are just talking about a company, Mr. Sankara, that a company may not have visited a mind like Thomas Sankara, because Thomas was a man who believed in very absurd and weird ideas. So we can't blame him, because most soldiers think with their feet. They don't think with their brains. So when you have confused people, anything goes. Even a lieutenant lead you nowhere where he has never been. So we are talking about a company, Tinashe, and we have an issue here. Mr. Sankara is the first lawyer in a village.
Okay.
And he's to people, not social distancing, which is literacy distance, so that you can in a village. And he's asked a simple question. What is a company?
Yeah. Well, that's a very interesting question.
Okay.
It's a very interesting question that Mr. Sankara is actually asked. And it's a question that I also struggle with on a daily basis. I find myself struggling with that in the sense that if I look around myself, who surrounds me? Who am I talking to? And I find that I actually am I'm actually a problem myself as far as coming together with others so that we have that common or shared understanding. But what I've learned though from the conversations on this particular platform, the 1873 platform, and with many other individuals that I've engaged, and particularly just drawing lessons from life experiences from individuals like Mr. Mawere, I've come to understand that a company in itself, it's a creature of law. It's individuals like myself, yourself, Mr. Sankara, Mr. Mawere, when we come together in for a common purpose. Come again? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
So So that coming together for a common purpose, for a shared interest, is it's individuals who make things happen using this vehicle called the company, which is a creature of law. Without the law, there is no company. And without human beings, there can never be a company. A company is something that doesn't exist, but individuals that exist who act in the name of that vehicle, that which they would have brought to being.
Okay, if we talk about a company without the language, and you are talking about, let's talk about Jesus. You agree both that the name of Jesus has created a lot of assets.
I
and
agree.
His followers have a lot of brick and mortar.
Indeed.
Do we agree? But he is not there. Huh? They
I
call
agree.
them so. But Christ never asked anyone to follow him. Otherwise, everyone would have to die being crucified.
Yes.
But he said, understand my story, because in it there are important lessons. And then the people who must have known him converted that into writing and created versions of the same narrative. And he said, 2 or more gather in my name, I am there. Call this company Jesus Christ. Call this company a church.
Yes.
A necessary university. But do it in my name. And he never said if 2 buildings come together, come together.
So, Mr.
Then
Mawere,
I shall be there. Yeah.
Where the quorum of Econet Wireless directors has been met, we can safely say Econet met and made a decision about 1, 2, 3. So in that example that you give, it says, though Jesus is giving a quorum that where 2 or more meet in my name, there I am present. So in the same way, we can as well say, where a certain number of directors or shareholders meet, or stakeholders will meet in the name of
you're already ahead to shareholders. Let's say 2 donkeys meet.
In whose name?
In the name of Jesus.
It would have been madongi 2 ekwamawere akasvika akasangana wakadya munda, we say madongi ekwamawere. And
I say madongi ka hangazi kwamawere.
No, we are saying you take responsibility, or you
no, you are now too educated to be in the public square. Jesus never said if 2 lions meet, I will be there.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He said if human beings, because human beings have been given a special gift. And have free will to associate and to dissociate. Right now, I started alone. Now it's 3 of us. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. But you have to elect to give up your time, Mr. Sangara.
Yes.
And Basuri has to elect to give, although he's eating, he's what? He has to give
He's
up
giving
time.
up his time.
But he has to give up himself.
Yes.
And that's an election. So Jesus said, if human beings come together, it is the purpose of the tree that will make it happen.
Yes.
Yeah. So he said, if lizards come together, he will not be there.
Mm-hmm.
And if baboons come together, he won't be there.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that if human beings come together, they will multiply. And whatever we say here may provoke somebody to look at a company differently.
Mm.
Yeah. So, Mr.
I will
Mawere.
give you an example yesterday.
Okay.
Yes, 2 days ago, I said we are looking for solar business to get someone in Malawi to set up a company in Malawi to promote solar business in Malawi. So I called somebody I know there. Then I said, can you set up a WhatsApp group? I want to introduce you to someone who wants to do business in Malawi. But I think it would be best for you to stand on your feet and love solar yourself before you think of money.
Uh-huh.
And then we set up a group. So I said, why don't you set up the WhatsApp group yourself? Because it's a Malawi centric and I can be joined into the group.
Yes.
He refused. He says, no, your name is bigger than mine. So if you if it's in your name, then people will join. Yeah. So I said, why can't you use your name? And let's test. You know why he didn't want to use his name?
Why not?
Because he wanted someone to blame.
Very understandable.
That if a group doesn't live up to its expectation, he says it is not my group. But I told him, Mr. Mawere, these people, they don't want to be in groups. Right now, they're already suspecting that we want to use them to do business. It is coming from you lacking ownership. And you are not looking at yourself as the problem. Because if you stand up and step forward and say, I am the cellular business, why can't you be that person? Why do you need somebody else to be at the front? But you are looking for somebody to blame. When something goes wrong, you say it's not my company. Where is company?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So most people don't like companies because they don't want to be accountable for anything.
No, but Mr. Mawere, there are different types of companies.
Maybe you are sophisticated.
No.
You are sophisticated.
No, I'm not trying to be. I'm trying to say simply, there are different categories within company law that can. There's a sole trader, a sole proprietor. There are partnerships. There are so many different types of companies under which one can register an entity in such a way that they do not take full responsibility.
No, I'm just saying is that the organization is into marriages. First, the two individuals, they come together.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no constitution that governs marriage. Do we agree?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, it's called a random walk. There is no memorandum of association. There is no articles of association. But there are agreements in the association.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
I don't want to be sophisticated.
Yes.
Yeah. But if two or more people gather, like the three of us, in the name of literacy, we can create our own pyramid today, called it an association, an academy of literacy. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, where we teach what is not taught, where we share what is not shared, where we debunk all these fictions that visit my company, my this, my that. Is that correct?
Yeah, you are
So
definitely right.
we can build an academy where people pay to learn about a company. And then we can then provoke the people. Do you want to understand what a company is, what a company is not?
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes, I do agree with you on that.
Yeah. So we can learn.
Mr. Mawere,
Yes.
we kind of diverted the discussion. I also wanted to hear Tinashe's understanding of what a company is beyond the fiction that he was saying. It's something that is recognized at law.
Now that's what he already explained. That's what I was trying to help now to convert it into a language that we can call pedestrian language.
Okay.
A creature of law. I'm trying to talk to the Bible to see the genius in the Bible, the genius in Christ. And we can a pyramid. We can call ourselves an army with a general. And you know what makes a general a general? What makes a chairman of a board chairman of a board? What makes a CEO of a company? It doesn't mean the CEO is your employer. How many foolish people have against an employer? Imagine, we are working together. Now I'm an employer. How many people live when you come to work, they want to be employed? Can you understand that, Lennon? Tinashe, Lennon will ask you, the show tomorrow. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I can imagine.
Instead of saying tomorrow, I want to discuss about various forms of companies.
Mm-hmm.
Can I advertise here that I want a corporate literacy class so that we sharpen and deepen our understanding on what a corporation is. When we say memorandum of association, what is an association?
Mm-hmm.
When articles of association.
Mm-hmm.
When you say incorporate, I've incorporated a company.
Mm-hmm.
And it's registered in terms of the laws of Zimbabwe. Then I call it a foreign company. Can you imagine? We get that birth certificates from the same office. After getting the birth certificates, another one says, now you are foreign. And how many people have seen a foreign phone? Imagine they're using iPhone. Talking about foreigners. Huh? This is my phone. How does it become your phone when it's called iPhone? So we need people who want Professor, because I didn't want to abuse you here, Professor Sankara is a learned man who wants to impart the knowledge he gathered in class. Samuel Shiri, how are you? There is somebody who has joined us, but he doesn't want to show who he is. And also has run away.
They've disappeared.
Yeah, and that is the real thing, because they want to talk about something else than simple ideas that can talk to the people who are watching or listening. If you are watching out there,
I see that comment from Shupikai, where she states that Pyramid, that's now a dodgy company.
Because the Shupikai doesn't understand what a pyramid is.
Mm-hmm.
And stand on each other's shoulders. And we stand vertically. It means one of us will see further than the other below.
Mm-hmm. And maybe, Mr. Mawed, whilst we are on that, what you're just trying to explain, is there an example that you can also maybe make use of one standing on others so that they can see further? That can make.
Yeah, if you take two people with two eyes,
mm-hmm.
and they walk on the same earth, they see where their body allows them to see.
Oh, shit.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah. So if you organize, not agonize, it means the 2 eyes per person can be 4 eyes when the 2 people agree to be together. It means what you see and what I see need not be the same. So when 2 people come together, I automatically have 4 eyes, 4 ears, 4 legs, 2 mouths. So it's a hierarchy like a family setup, but not benefiting from those on the bottom. Pyramid schemes suck on the bottom line. People effort to flourish themselves. I'm not talking about pyramid schemes. I'm talking about human organization, not agonization. So because you can come here with the or you can come here to join a conversation about human organization. And when people are organized, they have the capacity to see what they can't see as individuals. Their voice can be heard because they are organized. They can create one among them to be the president. It doesn't mean you are the president. All it means you are a product of human organization, not agonization. It doesn't mean you become the smartest person because you are the president. Only fools will call you smart if they have created you as a president. It doesn't mean when you are a director of a company, you are smarter than the people who work in the company. No. or who work in the name of the company. We are talking about human organization. We are not talking about pyramid schemes, Shubikai. So Shubikai, if you want to learn about how we can organize, not agonize, so that every day we speak, we are not repeating the same thing, we can move forward, then you will have arrived at a crossroad where you must make a choice. What kind of conversations do you want to be part of? Yes, you can tell us about schemes, about fraud, about this. It happens. That's why we have law enforcement officers. That's why we have courts. It doesn't mean that the people who are not prosecuted by the courts are clean. No. Just means that you are caught on the wrong side of the law of man. There are many people who die with secrets that will never be known. They die respectable, but there's nothing to respect about their acts, their choices. So we are not here to take confessions. No. We are here to learn. And those who want to learn, will learn. Those who don't want to learn, they don't have to. They know everything. They think every time you talk about hierarchy, pyramid, you are talking about a scheme. Not knowing that a pyramid has its own purpose. You are as strong as your weakest link. Each brick counts, and no brick is more important than another brick. But you need bricks to create this ideal called a pyramid. So human beings can also create themselves into a pyramid. Fictional pyramids. This one is vice president. This one is president. This one is a secretary general. Some people even think they are now general who are secretary. But just a form of organization. One will be the treasurer. One may be a deputy treasurer. Doesn't mean that you have treasure. You are a treasurer of money that you don't have. The money has to come from people who need the organization. If they are sleeping, one will be a dictator while they are looking and watching and cheerleading. Now you have clarified yourself, but the moment you mention pyramid in a proper corporate area, it sounds dodgy and illegal, Mr. Mawere. It sounds dodgy because you are thinking in a dodgy mindset. Chupikai, just listen to what is being discussed. If you joined later, just fasten your seatbelt. Just listen. You never know what you don't know until somebody says it in a different manner. So here we are, no. That's what I'm saying. We don't want a lawyer to define what a company is. Otherwise, we don't want to become lawyers to set up companies. How many people use these instruments as vehicles to deliver a promise, to deliver a service, to solve a problem, to invoice, yet don't know what a company is? How many want to own this? And we have never seen a graveyard of companies where we bury these human beings. How many people blame systems, not the individuals in the systems? How many people celebrate the mischief of, not the goodwill of men? So we are here to celebrate human nature, human designs, and human purpose. So Is that interesting, Shupikai? I hope this has not changed your view about pyramid schemes. We are not here to sanitize pyramid schemes. No, it's not a virus. There's no scheme without scheme members. There are some schemes that work and some that don't work. So this class of corporate literacy, is it of interest to you if you are, because we don't know who is watching, who is listening. So maybe let's check, are you interested in learning about corporations, corporate literacy, and what a company is, what informed human beings to migrate to this civilization where companies become vehicles for aggregating individual effort into collective outcomes. If you are interested, let's say yes, Y for yes, and N for no. So let's see whether there is any interest.
If you are interested in a better understanding of corporate, if you are interested in a better understanding.
Alpha Banu says, yes, I am interested.
Okay.
So, yes, like we say, it takes 10 Jews to build a synagogue. And we have one Jew now called Alpha Banu. We have Lawrence Madziwa, number 2. So let's see how fast we get to 10 believers. But they don't know what they need to know about companies. And they want to know more so that they can use these instruments.
Okay, we've got
Clayton
3 now.
Brown.
So 4 with Clayton.
Yeah, so now we have Tendai Maduke. So we have now 4 out of a target of 10. You see who is asleep. There are many people who want to hear other people talk. Terence Majuru Ja.
So
the question is, was sleeping. Yeah, so you agreed to be a secretariat, Tinashe. That's what order is. And you, when we reach 10, you count 10. Those who are interested in being part of a community to understand this creature called a company, what is it? How did it come to visit human beings? What is the importance of a company in the affairs of human beings? Why is it that we don't have a shared understanding? Yet some of our friends call themselves directors, CEOs, all these complicated words, but they don't know what a company is and is not. They don't even know what a country is and is not. Some think that a company belongs to the government. They don't even know what a political party is and is not. How many ZANU PF, ANC has done this to me? Then you say, please take it to Mr. or Mr. ANC. They can't take you there, they start arguing.
Yes.
When you argue with a foolish person, the argument never ends. It continues until midnight. Because foolishness, ignorance, divides people. Knowledge brings people together. How many of us are ignorant on what matters? How many of us pretend to know what we don't know? How many of us don't want to be corrected? Imagine we were all enlightened. How many of us went to school without understanding what was being taught? So how many do we have now?
So far, we've got 6 that have responded yes.
6. Is it 6?
Yes. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4,
You're
5,
not counting.
6.
Just put, no, it's not 6. Okay, you have Manu for number 1. Just
Yes.
put it on a spreadsheet.
Yes.
Number 2, Lawrence. Number 3, Tendai. Huh?
Yes, that's correct. Number 3 is Tendai.
Clayton, number 4. Terence, number 5.
Yes.
Mura, number 7.
Okay.
Ramtemeri, 8. Is it?
Let's see.
Simple secretarial stuff. How many of us can't even count? Or refuse to count? Refuse to measure how many we are? How many do we have?
I'm just quickly typing out their names.
You see,
and putting the numbers on the names, on each of the names.
and how many of us would answer the question without doing the actual physical work of counting? Padi, Mutimusakwa. How many of us would not even want to know how many we are? Even if we are 10, it's enough to build a temple around 10 people. Because we know each one will reach out to 10 people. When we reconvene, it means we can have a webinar. They know who to write to. They know who to share the video with. So, how many of us, and you know how long it takes to reach 10 people. And when you have 90 cents, you don't have $1. When you have 99 cents, you don't have $1. So imagine we all were listening. Just the practical, yeah?
So far, the total number of the individuals that have responded is 7. The last individual being Padimuti Mu. Okay, yeah, Padimusakwa.
Mutimusa.
Yeah, Mutimusakwa. Yes.
Yeah. So we are left with 3 people to reach the target of 10. Then we can give further instructions. Tendai Chumara. Please put those names so that we have Tendai as doubled the vote, but it's one person.
We can't rig the election.
Yeah, they will complain tomorrow that the elections were rigged. It's illegitimate when the voter is the person. So after you vote, no one wants to own your vote. So I will not speak on your behalf. You must speak on your behalf. So we are now number 8. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. 8 individuals so far that have responded.
Okay, so let's see how long it takes to get 2 people.
So it's 4:09. Let's see how many minutes it will get us to get those 2 people.
All right. So we are left with 2 people to reach 10 corporate literacy. Does it matter to you? If it does, please don't live in ignorance. Acquire the knowledge so that you can use it to your benefit. Acquire it so that you can enlighten others. Your views may multiply so that the space for ignorance can reduce. The space for arguments can evaporate. You have to decide.
Yes.
Mr. Joao, you can't vote twice. We are looking for 2 votes so that we people. Lawrence, are you re-voting? I thought I saw Lawrence before.
Lawrence,
Yeah,
but you are
Lawrence was
voting.
number 2.
You are the second. Yes.
Yeah, so we are asking for 10. I'm back, my battery was dead. What is needed so that I can contribute just to vote? If you believe that corporate literacy is something that you want to be part of, to give up time to allow those who have used companies to explain. Munashe Masuka, that's number what?
So Munashi Masuka, that's number 9.
Number 9, so we're left with 1. Kudakwashi isn't voted. His battery was off, so his mind was. So we need 10 people.
So just one more vote.
Yeah?
I'm saying one more vote and we establish a synagogue on corporate literacy. Okay. Let's see if there are any. Okay, no new votes yet. Let's see if we are going to get an individual who also vote so that we get to the number 10 and be able to. Okay, Christopher, the 10th one, Christopher Madede Gumbo. So we get to 10.
Okay, so are we there now? So anyone indicated an interest, please can you put your email so that Tinashe will be able to contact you so that we can build this synagogue of knowledge.
And one way where you can also drop your email address via WhatsApp. So the WhatsApp number is up on the screen, which is okay. That's the WhatsApp number that all individuals who have responded yes, and those who also have not yet responded who would love to be part of this corporate literacy. But in the meantime, I'll just take the email addresses of those individuals. Sikuda as is. Okay, Kuda is not typed yes, but nonetheless is the 11th one on the list.
So, yeah, each person must have an email associated with them. So, Eustace Kanyemba, are you in or you're out? Eustace wants to talk about, yes, what is your email address so that we can convert talk into proper knowledge building. We can have bullshitters who come to talk to you about the law and the companies, and they don't even know what it is. So let us build borderless knowledge. Charles, you are add me, please. Add you, Charles.
Okay.
So Charles wants to be added. I'm not sure what the edition. Let me send the link. Go to my Facebook page, you see the link. And if you want to join this conversation, then a different thing. But do we have how far are we with the, how far are we now?
So right now it's a matter of just
Then Susan Magoli, there are more people who have registered. So we want to be able to be organized. We were colonized because we didn't have admin. We were never organized. And we agonize over people leaving Europe to come and have a better life in Africa, and we call them colonizers. When we can organize for change and do the things that we need, when knowledge is shared, we get further than we are. Knowledge secures everybody. Is it Susan Magolis? Hello? There's somebody who came in, then disappeared. Let's show our faces so that we are seen. Because knowledge is one confident. And organization requires persons. When we say an idea, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. It just begins with an individual. It doesn't begin with a group of individuals. So if you want to join this conversation as we wind up, wind down, or lock down, please step forward. Don't say somebody has refused you to talk. Here we are talking about civilization, clash of civilizations. A subsistence farmer, a commercial farmer. What is the difference? One works for 4 months, waits for rain, and for 8 months is eating what they produced in 4 months. The other, another human being, organizes, not organizes, looks at farming as an enterprise. with others so that they can produce the same output, but bigger than what an individual can do. They can use equipment created by men to multiply outcomes. So how can we mix one and the other? If we want food security, what do we need to do? What if there's no rain? Who harvests this gift of nature so that it can be used even in winter to feed us? How many of us don't even know that we import things we can grow? How many of us that know that people who left Zimbabwe went to Nigeria, went to Zambia? Today, they are captains of industry. How many of us are foolish in our ignorance and say our land, our jobs, as if we create land, as if the human mind can create land? How many of us are so ignorant that they argue without facts?
Okay. So the responses that we've gotten as far as individuals who have responded, in total, 13 individuals have responded. Some did not actually respond by typing. Why? They just typed their email addresses. So out of the 13, 2 are yet to provide their email addresses. So Tendai Maduke and Tendai Chimwara. If you are still tuned in, kindly also just share your email addresses so that we can add you to this. There's Tendai Felix Maduke, Tendai Felix Maduke, and Tendai Zaire Chimwara. So the two Tendais.
Guys, please, can you honor this? Please, can you honor this? Please, can you honor this? And just add, Tendai is given. Tendai Maduke, we are now one. Is it Tendai again?
The other Tendai Zaire, yeah.
Tendai Chimara is given. So we are now complete.
Okay.
Which means
right.
we have exceeded by 30% the quorum for Jews. The quorum for Jews is 10. And what do they do to build a synagogue? That would be the first lesson. How to build synagogues of knowledge, not ignorance. How to fight ignorance, like we are fighting COVID. Ignorance can be invisible. Ignorance can be ignorance can be a partner of life. There are people who don't even know they are ignorant, but they speak as they have knowledge about the things they want to speak about. How many of us think we know it all, yet we only have 2 eyes, 24 hours, 2 legs? How many of us are so stupid to think that in between their ears is the universe of what is to be known? How many of us think we know what a company is because we are using it and not know the origin of a company? From a pedestrian view, so that corporate heritage can be celebrated, can be condemned. How many of us want to learn about those who have come before us, how they've succeeded themselves after death because they built institutions? How many of us want to invest in chaos? Imagine Mugabe before death, other people who were already planning to hijack ZANU-PF from you. He had no knowledge. He thought there was a poison pill. He didn't know people
Right.
from the army to hijack. And he ended up so disappointed that his students had learned too much from him. All they needed to do was to keep him under house arrest while they were executing. So how many of us really don't know what a company is and what a company is not? So thank you very much for sharing your email addresses. And the next thing that needs to happen is just simple. I will share this video, the Facebook link, so that you can share it on your platforms. You have to be the change that you want to see. So your job is just to share. And by sharing to your platforms, other people will know what you said. So here is the link. You just take that link. If you are on my page, just take the link and share it as it is. You don't have to add anything. You don't have to subtract anything. You don't have to call anybody. Just put your preface that I am in this conversation. I admit I'm ignorant about corporate matters, and I want to know. And in this conversation, you will hear my voice. So when you share that, you ask people to inbox you with their email addresses, so that when we assemble again tomorrow at 3 p.m., we shall have each one of us reporting back and telling us whether this conversation provoked somebody to be something or somebody in this quest for knowledge. If it has, you will share only the people who have responded to your WhatsApp message, to your publication without saying much. You will be the disciple that Jesus spoke of, that it takes two to gather in my name. And if you talk about me, about corporate literacy, it means you have given life to a subject that ordinarily other people will not talk about. So be the voice, be the change. Tinashe, you send to that group the link, because other people will find an excuse of saying, I didn't understand what was said, when I simply just said the link wherever you go on social media, and just tell people what you want them to do, the same way you have given me your email addresses. You started by saying Y for yes, It was followed by email addresses. That is the beginning of order. That knowledge visits organized people. That there cannot be a genius who is in a desert. That there cannot be a genius who is the most handsome man, and there are no ugly men around. There can be a pretty woman where others are not ugly. So don't be alone and think you are smart. Knowledge needs to be celebrated. And those who get it, will get ahead. Those who fail to grasp it by argument, they will never get far. So let us build temples, synagogues, churches, virtual churches of knowledge, so that we can celebrate this corporate civilization, the way it has caused others to leave the comfort zones of their homes, associate with others, build empires around other people, so that the world reflects the choices we make. And if we are knowledgeable, we are not outside the corporate civilization bus. We are in it together. So we have somebody who doesn't want to say anything. So we don't, it says S. Marx. I don't know whether it's a human being or somebody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir or madam. Can you see we are three, but we are two?
Yes, there are only two individuals showing proof of life.
So do we have a third person with us?
No. If there's no proof of life, if there's no proof of life, you can't say there's a person.
Now maybe they don't want to be known, they don't want to be seen, they don't want to be heard. So if you are out there and you are with us, just greet us so that we know we were three. Okay, it looks like there is a problem.
Yeah.
Maybe what we are saying may cause problems for the person to show face and also house. So that is where we are. Do you have any last comments, and then we can close?
My last comment, I think, is only to say that this afternoon I've deposited knowledge in here, and I've also just shared what I also understand. And in doing so, it has actually helped me better understand this problem of this animal called a company that we talk about each and every day. I talk about with many people, I talk about registering a company without even engaging the other individuals in understanding of what a company is. And all I can do is now just share this video in the many platforms that I am. So if you're also watching and you are willing to learn, let's all learn together and make a difference in the communities that we happen to be in.
Okay. A very important part of colonialism, which is admin. I have agreed to record the 10 people and put them together. And those 10, 13 people, I'm going to work with them so they expand to a class of 100. Is that Ramadede?
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm good, and you, Mr. Mawere?
All right. Has the content been of use to you?
Excuse me?
Have you found the conversation of value to you personally?
Yes, but I got you on in the middle, and then I liked the conversation. Yes, because I usually follow your streams.
All right. What I ask of you, have you registered to be in the class of people who want to understand what this animal called a company is and is not?
Yes, I registered.
You sent your email address.
Yes, I did.
So what we have today, unlike in Jesus' time, there were no recorders. There was no Matthew version. There was no four versions. Here, the version is recorded. So you can play back the tape and start where we started and where you joined.
Okay, I will do like that.
So that you share it with others. Where are you? Are you in Zimbabwe or you are in a distant shore?
No, I'm in South Africa.
You are in South Africa. You are
Yes.
also locked down. And what do you do for a living?
I'm working as a CCTV surveillance officer. Right now, I'm at work.
Okay, so you are a surveillance officer.
Yes, sir.
You want to own your own company.
Yes, I do want, yes.
And become an abused person called an employer.
Not really, not really.
No, I'm saying is, do you agree that employers are abused like housewives?
Yes, I'm aware of that. It is happening.
And
Yes,
some of the people who abuse employers are ignorant about the fact that an employer is another human being.
That is true.
Who is also working for a living.
I'm listening, Mr. Mawere.
Yeah, so when you know better, it means your knowledge expands, you can be able to share it. And thank you for being part of this conversation, for showing your face, and also for adding your voice.
My pleasure,
Because
Mr.
history will remember you.
Thank you so much.
As being part of this conversation.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mawere. I am in.
All right, so we'll send the email addresses, and then tomorrow when we congregate again, we shall
You said
get the
what time tomorrow? Because I work shifts.
3 p.m.
Okay, now I'll be available, yes.
Yeah. So that is the, and if you are not available, it's not the end of the world. But the record for you, and you just share the link. I think there's somebody who is playing another device.
From my side or from your side?
I think it could be your side.
Oh, I think it is my system. Can I drop off?
All right, so thanks a lot. We are closing anyway. Yeah.
Can I drop?
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. So thank you very much, and we look forward to working with you in this corporate literacy journey.
Okay, it is my pleasure, Mr. Mawere.
Okay, thanks.